The Chatham House outing by your principal, Bola Tinubu, continues to elucidate reactions. Was it right to delegate answering of questions?
Pardon me?
Your principal, your reaction talking about the Chatham House outing where your principal delegated answering of questions to his team members. So I'm asking, was it right to have delegated answering of questions to other people?
Well, let me, you see, I've heard all kinds of ignorant comments about this issue since it happened, but let me explain it thoroughly to Nigerians. When you go to Chatham House, you are not going to engage in a debate. You are not going to engage in an exercise where they want to test your oratorial skill, or they want to test how brilliant and how, clever you are to answer questions. It is just how are you going to handle certain issues regarding, policy issues and all that regarding your proposed government. Now, let me explain this. When you are asked questions at that level, you are expected to answer the question as president. What are you going to do as president? Not what are you going to do as candidates. Now, so when they ask you, Mr. Bola Tinubu, what are you going to do regarding ABC as president? You therefore need to respond as president. How do you respond? Those who have answered, those who have been making uninformed comments, they don't understand how government works. I am in cabinet. When an issue comes up in cabinet, the president is the last to speak. A leader, a good leader must hear the views of his lieutenants before he makes the last comment. So, even when memos come before Mr. President, when suggestions or proposals come before Mr. President, do you think Mr. President takes his biro and then in a know-all fashion, he just minutes on it and gives directives? He doesn't. He will minute it to the minister in charge or the head of the agency to hear their comments. And in many cases, the chief of staff will now make an executive brief and then make his suggestion. And then the president makes his final decision. That is how government is run. So when you ask Asiwaju, for example, in a Chatham House, what are you going to do about oil theft? The first thing he assumes is that he is president now. He wants to hear his lieutenants make comment on this. And guess what happened? I want you to go back to that tape. After they made those comments about catching those who are stealing the oil and all of that, what did Asiwaju say? He made the final comment, say, gentlemen, you have not even addressed the issue of the people who received the stolen items. That is presidential. Because he's now making a final decision on it that he thinks that we need to pay attention more to those who receive it because there cannot be oil theft without the people receiving it. That is what he said in Chatham House. So he was acting as president. Now listen, I've heard all kinds of ignorant comments. I see them online saying that, so when you are a medical student, for example, and you are asked to come and answer questions about how you are going to carry out an operation on a patient, you are going to call on that medical student to answer. You are comparing oranges and apples. Being a medical student and that scenario you have just mentioned is not the same as being president. Because if you are a medical student or a lawyer or a student of anything, you are asked questions, you are expected to answer it yourself. But as a professional, but the president is not a professional. I want to repeat it again. They can go and make fun of it and make memes out of it, but the president is not a professional. The president rather listens to professionals.
All right, but some persons said it could have...
Because the president cannot be an expert in all areas. He cannot. He must listen to experts. And when he listens to experts, he must have the knowledge to make a final decision on after he listens to his experts.